Tonight, the FBI announced its recent search for Crystal Rogers has concluded. In just a few days, they used a cadaver dog, dug up a suburban yard in Bardstown, and found several items of interest. The WHAS 11 night team's Tom Lally was back in Bardstown tonight, revisiting that search site and sitting down with Crystal's mom, Tommy Ballard, to reflect on the last 2 weeks.
Last week was exhausting for me.
On Tuesday, August 24th, the investigation began. Agents brought a cadaver dog through the Woodlawn Springs subdivision, where Rogers' former boyfriend, Brooks Houck, currently owns 3 properties, according to public record. Rogers' family tells us he was building homes in the neighborhood when Crystal disappeared. The next day, the dig began, starting with this front portion of a single driveway, expanding to the entire front yard of this home on North Howard Street, where a family still lives. Then, 6 days into the search, the FBI announces a suspension due to weather conditions. And what was one item of interest found turned into multiple, on their way to the FBI evidence lab in Quantico. On Saturday, special agents came back, searching through the dirt that they had removed in previous searches. And finally, Tuesday, the search is complete.
I'm just praying to God that it's gonna come back associated with my daughter.
Not far from the site of the dig, we met with Crystal's mother, Sherry, and Luna.
My cat decided to join.
She's been getting daily updates from special agents on this case, and she believes their focus has shifted to making an arrest.
They don't want to focus as much on finding my daughter right now as the investigation to make an arrest, and I kind of see where they're coming from.
Still, she has faith they'll find her daughter eventually, and whoever is responsible.
Eventually, I'm going to bring my daughter home.
The 6-year search continues, and this mother remains determined. Answers will come. For the WHAS 11 night team, I'm Tom Lally.
Crystal was a very good girl. She's a very good daughter. She was a very kind person. She never met a stranger. She was nice to everyone that she met. You know, she had a friend that she even let move in with her because she didn't have a place to go. And that's the type of person my daughter was. We were a very close family. And I'm not doing anything different that any mother would do for their daughter at all. Gosh, it's been really hard on me and the kids. I'm just praying this will bring us some kind of closure. I want it, but it's going to be so hard for me to hear that when I just hope I can handle that when they come to me with that news, even though I've waited for 6 years. And I need closure. Her kids need closure. But to physically hear it is going to be so hard on us. And we've got through this much, and I just hope we can handle that. One of her daughters had to come home from work today because she's just so upset about everything. And one's off to college. You know, she's texting me every day with what's happening, and she feels so far away. And the other one lives out of town, and it's hard on her. And it's just been a very...
Welcome back to the Confederacy. Now this reading, of course, is going to be on Crystal Rogers. This is the third in this Bardstown connection, the connection between these 4 cases. That's Officer Ellis, Kathy and Samantha Netherland, Crystal Rogers, and Tommy Ballard. So far, according to the readings of Officer Ellis and Kathy and Samantha, this is pretty much all over property. Fraudulent business dealings and property. And like I said at the end of Kathy and Samantha's video, this is basically a hit list for those who have unfortunately come upon some type of information or something that would either expose or put an end to what the Houck boys have been running for quite a while now. Their little enterprise. So this is pretty much what this is. And, you know, we come up with the question after the last 2 reads and thinking about it is, you know, I've seen the interrogation videos of Nick and I've seen them of his brother Brooks. I've seen where they revealed to Nick that he failed the lie detector test, and that was the FBI. And he plainly stated, what was it, once we get on your tail, we're hard to shake, we're hard to let go of, we won't let you go.
Yeah, we'll be there until we get you.
Well, yeah, so
Resources.
he knows that Nick has failed this lie detector test, and that he specifically showed deception when it comes to the question of where Crystal was at that moment, and if he knew what had happened to Crystal, is where he showed his main deception at. And this FBI knew this, but yet these boys still aren't in jail, or there's not been any charges related to Crystal or any of these other cases. So I want to know how deep is the involvement, because it's at least to the FBI acknowledging Nick failed that test, and it being public knowledge as well. That video's right here on YouTube. So that's going to be a reading that I want to do pretty quickly, is how deep the involvement is, just how deep this goes, and what is it that these Houck boys have on law enforcement all the way up to FBI. How have they got this pull to grease these palms? So you're talking about some heavy involvement here. This goes way beyond just two small town boys doing some good old boy shit. So that'll be a reading for another day, but as of right now, I feel the energy needs to be towards Crystal Rogers and what happened to her, and what exactly was the reason, what was the motive in her disappearance. Because I'm sure after all this time that it can safely be said that I don't think there will be a resolution as far as finding Miss Rogers safe and healthy and ready to come home and resume life as it was before. I don't think it's going to be that kind of outcome. I don't think anybody's expecting that either, but I think it's safe to just go ahead and just not assume that she's alive and well. So, and I'm 100% sure, 100% sure that Nick's brother, Brooks, the boyfriend of Crystal, is 100% solely responsible for what happened to her, because it's been shown in these past readings that he is uncontrollable. He has no self-control. He's volatile. He's impulsive, extremely aggressive, abusive. So I think they've got into it one night over something. She's threatened him with what she knew, and he's exploded. And he's probably either beat her to death, or I guarantee you, I see strangling her. What do you think? What's your prediction on that?
Oh, he definitely beat the crap out of her. He continued after she was strangled to death. It's a sad thing. After there was no life left in her, he kept beating on her.
Yeah, he's one completely out of control. He's one of them sociopaths that just, yeah, very aggressive. Very aggressive. It wouldn't have been no quick shot to the head.
No.
You're right. All right. Those questions that I've got for her reading as well. So, Crystal Rogers. We're looking for a connection with Crystal Rogers to be shown the truth about what happened the night she disappeared. To the circumstances surrounding Crystal's disappearance. The reason for the circumstances. Forces or influences behind her disappearance. Events leading up to her disappearance. How her disappearance unfolded. Crystal's state of mind when she disappeared. Perpetrator. Motive. Involvement. And last words. Okay, the first card is the circumstances surrounding Crystal's disappearance, and that's going to be the Ace of Wands. That's a card of new beginnings, new enterprise, and this is in relation to work and career. This card works at a literal level. Here we go. This is the male phallic symbol. Works as a literal level. Phallic symbol would signify to me sex. So how is that going to play into new beginnings and new enterprise in relation to work and career? See what the reasons being. Page of Swords reversed. That's being someone being manipulative or cunning, devious, and unscrupulous. This looks to me like see, I said the question was posed, how deep is involvement, at least to the FBI, right? Where they acknowledged Nick's failed lie detector test. So what would be stronger than just greasing the palms? What would be strong enough to have the FBI involvement? Why, human trafficking, of course. So if you're getting ready to embark upon new beginnings and new enterprise in your work or career, let's put this together now. You have rental properties, houses. You've got family property that people don't know about. So if you have flop houses or stash houses here for human trafficking rings, and your girlfriend found out about it, you got into a fight, and she used that to threaten you. That's what I feel like this is. This all goes back to a human trafficking ring. Officer Ellis wasn't on board for that. Somehow, some way, I guarantee you, the teachers found out about it. See, that's what I'm kind of unsure on. Is exactly the role that the teacher plays. Because I'm not sure if I'm just satisfied with him killing her over her having something to loophole out of a contract. I don't know.
It was out of a contract. It was out of a...
Yeah, but I wonder if she found out something about... I don't know. Let's just go and keep on with the read here. I'm getting the boat ahead of the buoy. All right, the next one is going to be the forces or influences involved in Crystal's disappearance, and that's going to be justice reversed. That's showing work, relationships, money issues, all spiraling out of control. Dishonesty, being treated unfairly, and not able to speak your truth. Well, if Miss Crystal was his secretary, so to speak, she kept the books and was collecting the rent, that would work itself into work relationship, as well as a romantic relationship, money issues spiraling out of control, dishonesty, treated unfairly, not able to speak your truth. That's exactly what that is. That's showing exactly pretty much how it went down. Now the next one, it's going to be the events leading up to her disappearance, and that's going to be temperance. Temperance is showing someone dealing with a volatile situation. I guarantee you that's how that encounter was. She threw that out on the table and there was no turning back. It's the beginning of a spiritual journey. Yeah, I would say so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, spiritual of a different kind.
Alright, the next one is going to show us how the crime unfolded, and that's the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is showing property that's been inherited, family support, also relating to a close circle of long-time friends, as well as an older person in your family that has wisdom to share in addition to resources. Well, boys, if that don't tell it all right there. Whatever went down, or however Crystal lost her life, it was on inherited property, and I guarantee you that's where she is to this day. Some property that belongs to Brooks and Nick Houck's family, and I'm going to take a wager and say, because it says an older person in the family that has wisdom to share in addition to resources, that's Grandma. That's exactly who that is. Because she got called to the stand and invoked her Fifth Amendment rights. So that right there is where Crystal is. She's on some property that Grandma owns, or that Grandma even inherited, possibly. But the family support, yeah, that's Grandma right there too. Also relating to a close circle of longtime friends. There's your good old boys club. There's your law enforcement, your FBI, your judicial system, all that. Now, the next one is going to show us Crystal's state of mind, and that's the Hangman in reverse. That shows someone that's been jumping from one bad situation to the next. That's jumping before you really even think about what the cause and effect is going to be. It is being impulsive and making rash decisions. I'd say this was a fight that just went really bad. It went from really bad to really worse. And when she threw that threat out there, as far as, I know this is what you're doing, I know this is what you got going on, that was impulsive and a rash decision. That was in the heat of the moments, and that's something that she absolutely couldn't take back. So the next one is going to show the perpetrator, and that is going to be the King of Swords reversed. Here we go. Did we get the King of Swords reversed on another reading related to him as being the perpetrator?
Yes.
Okay. So that is going to be lack of self-discipline. Someone who's power-hungry, inhumane, has a lack of integrity, a lack of ethics, a lack of morals. He's ruthless, judgmental, aggressive, abusive, violent, brutal, and manipulates others. If they don't sum up Brooks Hawkins in a whole slew of words, then I don't know what does. Every one of those characteristics apply to him. Alright, the next card is going to show us the motive, and that's going to be the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands shows someone that's making new exciting plans, thinking big. It's a tendency to rush to action without considering consequences. I'd say that when she's threatening him with that, he's known right then and there that if he was going to be successful in that area and have that kind of involvement himself, that she had to go. Because she's already threatened to tell once what's going to happen when things get really, really bad. She ain't going to hesitate to pick up that phone call or some tip line or something to give. And I'd say that she'd be the type to be sneaking around on her phone, taking pictures and taking videos and getting evidence too. So, and it's thinking big. He ain't gonna let her. This man is all about money and land and connections. That's all. That's what he breathes for. Now, next is going to show involvement, and that's going to be the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands shows ventures being more successful than you'd hoped and getting things done. So he had more people in his corner that he didn't count on. He's got more. This whole human trafficking thing has opened up a whole new door of friendships. The last card is going to be the last words. That's going to be Death reversed. It shows anxiety, stress, unable to comprehend what's happening, showing there's no way back in a relationship that can't be mended. What did I say? She threw those words out there in the heat of the moment because she's anxious and stressed about some fight they were having. But there was no way back when she said it, like I said, and their relationship could not be mended. Not in his eyes. And I'd say she was unable to comprehend what was happening because who in the world is really going to think that your partner or your spouse or whatever is going to actually take your life? I'd say that was her. I can't believe this moment.
Yep.
So that's what's happened to Crystal, y'all. Once again, here's another connection. Someone else who's got too close to the truth to be able to expose or possibly end the reign of the Hawk brothers. And Crystal was only a casualty of war, a loose end. Unfortunately, I hate saying that, but to them, she was expendable. She was just another roadblock in the way. Her death cleared the path. Not only did it stop the threat of this being leaked or tipped or whatever, but it also cleared the way for him to freely run without her nosing in or whatever, or being disapproving of his whole gist with the human trafficking ring. That's what this is. Man, you know it's going to get deep when there's a trafficking ring involved.
She's just not touching the surface, I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is, next read is Tommy Ballard. That's her dad. And so I knew all four of them was going to be connected. But as of right now, this is what I've got. I want to take the time to thank you for spending it with this reading. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.